JBN, we keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, JSIF providing up to $100,000 in grants to microenterprises. The Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, is providing grants of up to $100,000 to operators of microenterprises in targeted communities under its Integrated Community Development Project. Eligible individuals must be between 18 and 30 years old and from the communities of Salt Spring, Anchovy, Norwood and Mount Salem in St. James, Treadlight in Clarendon and Augustown, Greenwich Town and Denham Town in Kingston and St. Andrew. Managing Director JSIF Omar Sweeney told JIS News that the grants are being provided through Cycle 3 of the Enterprise Youth Development Grant Initiative, which is funded to the tune of $15 million. These are not cash grants, but based on needs and what persons would point out as their difficulty. They may receive equipment, training in accounting and budgeting, managing the business, marketing and customer service, explained Sweeney. He said that successful applicants can also receive support to register themselves as a company. He is encouraging persons to apply, especially if you have a business and you think that you need an investment. Sometimes you just need a refrigerator, hair dryer, a vacuum or power washer machine to allow your business to maneuver, noting that they can also receive resources to make their business pivot. Sweeney told JS News that if the support being provided will enable the business operator to employ an additional person, then that is a big bonus in terms of being able to receive the grant. The deadline to apply for the grant is Friday, July 8. Additional details, including application requirements and forms, are available on the JSIF's website at www.jsif.org. Good Samaritan shot dead. A man who came to the rescue of a woman who was being robbed after leaving Alkaline's New Rules party at the National Stadium this morning was shot dead by the robber. Police said 21-year-old Othniel Rowan Thomas was trying to be a good Samaritan and attempted to retrieve an item stolen from the robbery victim when he was killed. Thomas worked at a call center in Montego Bay, St. James, but lived in Jamesdale, Clarendon. It was reported that about 3:50 a.m., two men on a motorcycle, one armed with a handgun, accosted a group of people coming from the party along Tom Redcombe Road near the library. Police said the pillion came off the motorbike and robbed the woman of her bag. Thomas then intervened and tried to get it back. The gunman opened fire at Thomas, hitting him in his left upper back. He collapsed on the roadway, and the other persons, except the woman, ran leaving him. The police said the robber then escaped on the waiting motorcycle. The woman stopped a passing police unit, which rushed Thomas to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 4 a.m. The St. Andrew Central Police are probing the incident. Nephew charged with murder of his 77-year-old uncle. 40-year-old Samuel Waldo has been charged with the murder of his 77-year-old uncle, whose dismembered and burnt body was found in bushes in St. Andrew. The remains of Derek Lindsay were discovered in the community of Cavaliers on Monday, June 6. The police report that Lindsay was last seen alive at his home on Brooks Level Road in Stonehill, St. Andrew on Saturday, June 4, and a missing persons report was subsequently filed for him. On June 6, a police team from the Stonehill Police Station, acting on information, carried out a search of an area known as Safa Gully in Cavaliers, where the human remains were found. Waldo was being sought by the police as a prime suspect in the murder of his uncle. Investigations led to Waldo's house at Brooks Level Road in Stonehill, where bloodstains were found inside his home. 2 suitcases were also missing from the home shared by the two men. Waldo was subsequently arrested in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew on Tuesday, June 27. He was subsequently charged following a question and answer session. His court date is being finalized. Murder probe leads cops to dead man. Police in Westmoreland have cleared up a murder posthumously after investigations discovered the alleged killer was already dead. Donovan Samuels, otherwise known as Pinchers, who was shot and killed during a confrontation with a joint police-military team in Albion, St. James, on June 17, has been fingered as a triggerman in the killing of Ian Clark, otherwise called Picker, earlier this year. Clark, 31, from Bamboo Walk in Georges Plain, Westmoreland, was killed on February 2, 2022. Police reported that about 5:06 p.m., Clark was standing at his gate when a gunman alighted from a motorcycle and opened gunfire hitting him before escaping on the waiting bike. Clark was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. As lawmen continued to probe Clark's death, it led them to Samuels. The investigators did not have to look far, however, as they discovered Samuels was killed 2 weeks ago. Following his killing, Samuels was positively identified by witnesses as the shooter in Clark's death. It was reported that the security forces were on foot patrol in the Earls Drive area of Albion about 8:50 p.m. when they observed Samuels and another man approaching. The men were alerted to stop but instead opened fire on the patrol team. The fire was returned and Samuels was hit. The other man escaped. A Glock pistol and 7 rounds of ammunition were seized at the scene. Man's body riddled with bullets after gunmen scale wall. A 50-year-old construction worker was shot dead on Saturday night after gunmen made their way over a wall surrounding his house in Westmoreland and opened fire at him. He has been identified as Joseph Scott. The fatal shooting took place in Sterling, Granger in the parish. According to the police's corporate communications unit, about 8:50 p.m., residents heard what sounded like gunshots and alerted the police. When the lawmen arrived, Scott's bullet-riddled body was found in his house. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue. Investigations are ongoing. Man succumbs to injuries after Mandeville shooting incident. A man has succumbed to his injuries following Saturday's shooting incident on Juicy Plaza in Mandeville. He has been identified as 49-year-old Ricardo Bennett, a fisherman of Old Harbor, St. Catherine. A police report said about 2:03 p.m., Bennett was standing outside a remittance outlet on the plaza when he was pounced on by a gunman who opened fire, hitting him. Bennett was taken to hospital by security personnel where he was pronounced dead. Statistics from the Jamaica Constabulary Force show that up to June 26, Manchester recorded 20 murders compared to 13 for the corresponding period last year. I need answers. I just want to see him face to face to ask him, why him do it? I need answers, said a grieving Gwendolyn McKnight yesterday, as Prime Minister Andrew Holness visited the mother of 31-year-old Kemisha Wright, who was killed along with her 4 children on June 21 in Cockapease, Clarendon. McKnight's 23-year-old nephew, Roshane Barnett, has been charged with the heinous crime. McKnight, a mother of 4, said that the grief of the loss of her only daughter and all 4 of her grandchildren gets harder to bear daily. I have one and only daughter, and she gave me 4 lovely grandchildren. Me not even have any more grandchildren for look upon, said McKnight, the pain evident on her face. The bodies of Wright and her 4 children, Commander Smith, 15, Charlie Smith, 12, and 5-year-old Raphael Smith and 23-month-old Kishon Henry Jr. were discovered at home with chop wounds and their throats slashed on June 21. McKnight theorized that her daughter was dealt a raw deal by her willingness to assist the accused by offering the accused a place to stay in the North Central Clarendon community. I was trying to help, and this is what I get, she bemoaned. Yesterday, Holness said that the government will be assisting the family with funeral arrangements. It's the least we can do, he said, as he offered condolences to the bereaved relatives. There will be multiple agencies assisting, so I think the funeral and the associated costs will be well taken care of. But there's a kind of emptiness that no matter what we do, it just cannot remove this stain on us all, because this murder is an assault on all our sensibilities, he added. And even though it is a family within a family, it has really happened in the Jamaican family, because we as a country have normalized the use of violence. The Prime Minister said that the government will also be fast-tracking programs to address violence within society. I am not going to allow it to get any worse than it is now, and we have decided to do is to fast-track our anti-violence program, said Holness. He added that while the government has developed and executed crime-fighting strategies, such as improved policing, improved capabilities of the Jamaica Defence Force, and the use of enhanced security measures, there is another dimension to the plan, and that is to control and reduce the use of violence. So we did put in place a commission to look at violence, to study the pathology of violence in Jamaica, and to report to the government as to what measures the government can take. He said that the government should be in receipt of the report shortly and is prepared to act accordingly. Holness added that the Cockapease massacre was a stark reminder of the inclusion of violence in all social interactions. We use violence to discipline our children, and all we do is to teach them that the only way to get things done is to use aggression and violence. We use violence in intimate partner relationships as a means of domination and power, and between family and neighbors, and that must change, he said. The Jamaican people have to not just confront the murderer, but we also have to confront ourselves as to how we have come to normalize and accept violence. 6 more COVID fatalities, 143 new cases. Jamaica reported 143 new cases of COVID-19 and the 6 fatalities on Saturday, July 2, according to the latest statistics from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. This pushed the total number of cases of the virus since the start of the pandemic to 143,240 and the death toll to 3,140. Of the newly reported cases, there were 76 females and 67 males, with ages ranging from 49 days to 93 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew 44, St. Catherine 33, Clarendon 2, St. James 12, St. Thomas 3, Westmoreland 7, St. Elizabeth 2, Manchester 1, Portland 3, St. Mary 15, and St. Anne 21. Trelawney and Hanover were the only parishes to record 0 cases. Meanwhile, the latest fatalities are a 96-year-old man from St. Elizabeth, whose death was recorded in June 2022, a 53-year-old woman from Kingston and St. Andrew, whose death was recorded in January 2022, a 75-year-old woman from Kingston and St. Andrew, whose death was recorded in January 2022, a 75-year-old woman from Kingston and St. Andrew, whose death was recorded in January 2022 and was under investigation, a 35-year-old woman from St. James, whose death was recorded in September 2021, and a 49-year-old man from St. Elizabeth, whose death was recorded in September 2021. The country also recorded 21 new recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 91,128. The positivity rate for the latest round of testing was 20%. There are 97 people hospitalized, 4 of them critically ill. There are 1,361 confirmed active cases on the island. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.